everybody, it's Patricia and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a different kind of video. I've been watching videos on YouTube of a tag that was started by Samantha March, and people are listing their 5 favorite brands or the 5 brands that excite them when they put out a new release and 5 brands that don't. And I want to do a little kind of different take on that. I want to do brands that I am no longer in love with or not even in like with. So that I've been thinking about that. So I have a few on my list and I thought we would just go through them. They're in no particular order except the last one, and I will tell you about that one. But first is Morphe. When I started on YouTube, man, I don't even know how long I've been on YouTube now. I had been in a rut. I had let myself go. I hadn't really been doing my makeup on a regular basis. I was still using the same old stuff all the time. And then I started my YouTube channel to find my tiara. That's what it was about. And so I started getting into, new makeup. And I found Morphe pretty quickly. And I liked them back then. I have since fallen out of favor with Morphe. I don't care for their quality of shadows. Now, some of you, these are all my opinions. So if you don't like anything I say, that's fine. If you want to state your opinion down below, I'm okay with that. Let's just keep it nice and friendly. But because there's things I like that I've heard other people say they don't like. So it's just a matter of preference. These are my preferences. This is my opinions. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Morphe. I think as I have grown over the past couple years and really gotten back into the makeup, because before I only worked Estee Lauder, so I was not allowed to use other makeup. I only knew Estee Lauder. But now as I'm learning about all these different brands of makeup, my tastes have changed. My taste is changing, and that's probably a lot to do with it. My taste is changing. But I received that Morphe palette in my BoxyCharm, what was it? Not this past month, but the one before, I think. I did not like the quality of that eyeshadow palette. Now I hear that the James Charles palette is nice, and I hear that the Jaclyn Hill palette is nice. But the other palettes, maybe not so much. I am not a fan of the Morphe products I have tried. I do have a blush I think I got in a subscription box, and it's okay. Will I go out and purchase Morphe on my own? No. I won't purchase Morphe anymore. I look back at that palette I had purchased, which was the 35 OS palette. And yes, it was all shimmers. Back then, I was just like so excited to get a palette of shimmers. But they were all so similar, and it was such a huge palette. I decluttered it. It was just, I think back, what was I thinking? But yeah, Morphe, I'm not in love with Morphe anymore. Not that I could say I ever really was in love with Morphe. I liked Morphe. Morphe and I, we no longer have a relationship. Let's just put it that way. Next, BH Cosmetics. Now, I went through a time where I loved my BH Cosmetics palettes, and I still do, the ones I have. I find now that I have better quality palettes since I've added Natasha Denona's and Visearts and, even Anastasia palettes. That there's so many palettes out there that I prefer their quality of shadow over BH Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics is extremely affordable. It's a great brand if you're just starting out, or your budget won't allow you to splurge on a Natasha Denona palette. It's great. It's just, for me, I'm just really not that into it anymore. Another reason is I have so much now. I know more than I will ever use up. So I just find myself no longer purchasing from BH Cosmetics I do still have some palettes of theirs I'm going to keep. I like their lip liners. They have a lip liner called Endora. Now, it was on sale last time I went on their website, which has been a while. So I don't know if they've discontinued it, but I loved their lip liner in Endora. I thought it was great. That's still one of my favorites. But yeah, there's just not a lot on BH Cosmetics anymore that really excite me or interest me. I'm not saying I'll never go back and purchase something. They may put out something great, something I really just catches my eye and I gotta have. But for right this moment, right this very moment right now, I still like BH Cosmetics. We're still friends. I'm just not in love with them anymore like I used to be. Next is Coastal Scents. Man, I don't know if you can still do it. Buy their single eyeshadows on sale for like 95 cents or something. I bought up some of their eyeshadows. I have purchased their palettes. I have since decluttered their palettes. And I even decluttered my single eyeshadows I purchased. The quality for me is just not there anymore. And so I'm just not into Coastal Scents. And I really don't hear a lot of people talking about them anymore either. So for me, we're just not friends anymore. Makeup Revolution. That's another one. I jumped on that bandwagon early when I started my channel, and I purchased palettes and blushes, eyeshadows, just all kinds of stuff. Now, their eyeshadows, I have decluttered all of them but one. I've kept one eyeshadow palette. I was having problems with their palettes. They were a little hard for me to work with. I mean, I could use them. They weren't my favorite, and I found I wasn't reaching for them anymore. Now, their concealer, which is like a dupe for Shape Tape, their concealer is amazing. Would I purchase that concealer again? Yes, I would. Would I purchase from Makeup Revolution again? Yes. They're not totally off my radar, but I'm just not as excited about them anymore like I used to be, and so we're still friends. But I'm not in love with them and want to try every new thing that comes out. No, I'm being a little more careful with my purchases. But for me to purchase anything from Makeup Revolution again, I would need to see some reviews of stuff. I wouldn't just buy it because it's brand new and I want to get it and try it. Makeup Geek. I didn't really jump on that bandwagon too much. I got some shadows. I thought they were nice. And then she discontinued all her shadows, and I know she's reformulating and coming out with new, but they just don't excite me. I was recently on the website looking at shadows thinking I might get some singles. I know I said I wasn't going to do single eyeshadows, but now I'm thinking maybe I might start trying some single shadows, some colors that really just wow me, and I found nothing on their website that made me go, wow, I need to buy that. So, Makeup Geek, we're not even friends. We're not friends anymore. Now, the last one on my list, I loved it and purchased, like, you would not believe. I bought a ton of their stuff, fell out of love with them, but I'm falling back in love with them, and that's Colourpop. I have all these Super Shock shadows, and now I've had them so long, they're drying out. And so after using them for a couple years, I've decided that's not my favorite. Although I did purchase their spring palette with the Super Shock shadow inside the palette. Amazing. If they start doing them that way, I'm going to love Super Shock shadows again. So, yes, I'm falling back in love with Colourpop. I love their pressed powders. When I purchased from them, they didn't even have pressed powders. That was that long ago. I purchased from them when they hand wrote you a note. Wrote your name out, hand wrote it, sent it with your order. Those days are over. But Colourpop, I am falling back in love with, and I am excited with new products they're coming out with. I did purchase some colored mascaras. I'm looking at some new formulated eyeliners. I do like their eyeliners. So yeah, Colourpop and I are falling back in love. So I'm glad. So that is all the brands I wanted to discuss. What brands were you so in love with and now it's like, you know, maybe not so much anymore? Leave it in a comment down below. I'd love to know. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so you'll know when I release new videos. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time.